Welcome to the Tokotas podcast for January 11th, 2025. Got to start remembering to say 2025. You've got me, Jill, and Dunn. We'll be back in a moment. Mysterious sounds were coming from in the house, which just means the 4-year-old's up to something. Expect he will party crashes at some point today. So welcome to the podcast. We have a few things that we want to go over. It turns out it was not the 4-year-old. It was just randomly noisy neighbors. All right. So we have a few things that we want to go over today. The big things being some general updates. We're going to talk about gardening beta, which went live at like 11 or not even 11
hours ago.
Yeah, not 12 hours ago. And we're going to go over the on-site trackers. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how they work. And then we're going to talk more about legendary drinks and combos. So I have lots for you. I don't think this will be a super long podcast, but I am usually wrong. So let's just tuck in and get moving here. Okay. So first things first, general updates. I did say that previously we had some admins who are longtime bastions of the game stepping down. And in the wake of that happening, obviously, we have to start accounting for that lack of them in our system. And new people are stepping up to take on those roles. One thing we talked about before was faction points. Faction points are going to be bankable. Actually, Dunn cracked the code on those. And she cracked them before group open, but there physically wasn't enough hours in the day to do everything else for open and to make those updates. So, are we thinking February?
I think February.
Okay. In February, faction points are going to become bankable into your system, and we're going to do it in a manner that doesn't create a ton of work for all of the departments that have to put faction points in your bank, because that was kind of the thing. We don't want to add another step to CEs. Poor CEs. We don't want to have something more for HU to remember and all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it bankable, and we have a way that basically in their natural process, it will automatically add the FP for them. And I will build a turn-in screen so you can go and turn it in on the site. Also, we will have a mechanism for wiping them out. So basically, group close will wipe out the ones in your bank on every even month? Yes, on every...
Group close or group open? We were talking that around in circles.
Group close or group open? I don't...
Or were we talking about a batch process if we could get it to actually work?
Well, I can't schedule them. Okay. Well, technically we can, but we have to go up to like a private server. Yeah, we already pay them an ungodly amount of money for Tokota a year. Let's not pay them twice that. And then have to care about bandwidth.
Point.
Yeah. So the point is, like, they will wipe out automatically. There'll be a turn-in screen. Expect to see the little beta of that in February. February will definitely have the in your banking thing. And I should have the words, find your words. It should have the turn-in screen as well. I expect there will be bugs. But it should look something like the group goals, quite honestly.
I mean, I imagine it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to show your faction.
Yeah, it's just going to show your faction. And then we'll be able to do prizes and such on the site. But that definitely won't be in February. They'll likely be not normally rolled or manually rolled, technically. I hate the word normal. They will be manually rolled. And then later in the year, we'll automate the prize portion of it as well. All right, so faction points. That's what's happening there. Next, let's talk about random events. So if anyone read the news, which you all should have read the news, your minimum effort as a player to play Tokotas is to read the news, which honestly, everyone's been a lot better about the last 2 years. So despite how dire that sounded, that's like an ancient reflex kicking in where I'm like, did you read the news? Which I actually hadn't have to do. I don't think I had to do that in 2024. Where someone comes in and asks a question, I'm like, did you read the news that I posted 5 minutes ago?
No, but 2024, between 2023 and 2024, we did start doing the code words.
Yeah, we did start doing the code words. And that's working. That's really working to get people to read the news. So actually, it does seem to be a more standard thing at this point.
Ella promises the news takes less time to read than it does to write.
Oh, yes. Hands down. We're writing the news from the moment close happens until 2 minutes before open. It's the last thing to get finalized. 'Tis the bane of our existence. And then I write things, and all of our various people who know how to spell come through and fix those things. And then I go through and make it sound more fun. And then they come back through and fix those things. It's a whole cycle. But if you read the news, you know Random Events is closed through March. That means it's closed in January, February, and March. And if you had a challenge prompt that you have not handled yet, I think those are going to be voided by the end of the month. Copper cleared out the last bit of everything, and it has been open. So anything that's going to be redeemed or going to be revealed, that's the word I'm looking for, revealed before March, has been revealed. If you haven't put it into that thread, March will be the soonest you could even, no, April will be the soonest you could even viably think about it. That's where that stands. As part of this 3-month shutdown standardization revamp, we will try and have some sort of grace period, but be aware if you have an RE that you put in January of 2024 and you haven't looked at it, there's a chance it's going to be voided. I want to throw that out there as kind of like the nasty part of this. At some point, because there's people who have years old REs that they never came back to, we may have to void them to do this cutover. Obviously, if you put yours in like, I don't know, November 28th and you didn't get around to it before April, we will give you a grace period to respond and to handle in the old system as we move into this new system. Dunn and I have talked, and we definitely, from everything Copper left behind, we think we need to move REs to our next big project above other things because we don't want it down for any more than 3 months. What that means is we're not looking at a Craftmageddon size project where, right?
I guess Craftmageddon was only 1 month in the grand scheme of it all.
I know, but last night you told me absolutely not.
I don't know. As evidenced by my list for open, I'm notoriously bad at judging how much work I've put on my plate.
Yeah. Dun and I had like a legit fight this month about her open list where I'm staring at it and I'm like, I'm going to make you story point these. I'm going to make you agilely story point these. And now you're telling me that you have created, I don't know, a week's worth of work that you expect to get done in 24 hours and you're mad that we can't do it. Think about that.
I wasn't mad at you. I was mad at myself.
Yeah, but when you're mad at yourself, I have to put up with you. You are physically here, so I still have to deal with it. So I kept being like, cut that. Go give that to someone else. Go give that to someone else. And then we had like an almost real tiff where I'm like, you're not understanding what I'm saying, but I need to stop talking about it now because it's pissing you off. It's true. So.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's going to enforce planning poker.
Yeah.
And make the other admins
I
play.
hate planning poker. One of my project managers loves it. So every time that we are in a grooming session, which I know what it sounds like, it's backlog cleanup, basically. It's cleaning up all the things that need to be done, making sure they have all their requirements and they've been story pointed. And he wants to play poker every time, and I hate it. I'm like, no, let's just discuss the number. The subject matter expert can throw out a number and we'll negotiate from there. Let's have a conversation. Yeah, I have a lot of feelings. But I'm going to make Dunn start doing it soon if she keeps this up. I had to start just cutting things off of her list and dealing with her wrath.
Wrath? How dare you?
Oh, it was wrath. Okay. That was your sin. Your sin was wrath this open. But we don't want our REs to be down forever, and we are definitely not looking at a tribe situation where tribes basically were a new animal when Cash started the revamp and I finished it. Like, we're not looking at a tribe situation where it'll be a completely new system, forget everything you knew before. We are probably looking something closer to, in my opinion, Craftmageddon or the build rebalance, where we're going to enforce a lot more standardization in there. And from there, we'll talk about having newer, more updated or modern mechanics, more automated mechanics, because from when Copper initially took over / built, I actually don't know how involved they were.
Copper's been there for so long, I'm not sure.
I don't know if Copper built REs or not. They have been there for so long. So I kind of just assumed they did. I really just assumed they did. So the technology and the processes that we have now versus when Aries was originally built, we can do a lot of automation. We do know that it's going to be a lot bigger. Expect that maybe our next podcast will be dedicated to what we think we're going to do.
Is Lua one of our Tokotna historians says pretty much in regards to
Yeah.
copper building them.
Okay. Legit. And they have held for years. The game is bigger. The amount of work is bigger. So we'll do as we always do when something kind of gets out of the realm of one person feasibly taking care of it. And the only reason one person's been doing REs for so long is because that person was copper. This is one of those situations where a coworker left and you're like, oh, I need 3 people to replace them. Great. Okay, now we better look at fixing this. Fixing being a incorrect word. Streamlining this. So, REs, think maybe February, you're going to see our podcast come about that. And it'll be what we think we're going to do to REs to streamline it, to standardize part of the practices, maybe to modernize or automate some things in it as well. We don't know yet, but it's coming. It is next on the list after a couple. I didn't forget about Verma. Verma will be happening with the RE revamp. I'll be on Verma, Dan will be on the RE revamp, and I will be saying, no, I don't like that to everything that she does, and then we'll come up with an idea.
Wow.
It's just how it is, okay? You know what I'm like. I'm terrible. I'm least favorite person in brainstorming. Okay. Pause for questions about faction points or REs and what we're doing, because I know I gave a lot of words, but not necessarily a lot of information.
Oh, I'm over in the podcast questions channel.
Yeah.
Put your questions there, and our coffee is like 3 minutes away.
Ooh, oh, caffeine. Beautiful caffeine.
Okay, we got typing going.
Okay, we'll give them a moment to type. I got some sleep last night, but the night before I got 2 hours of very interrupted sleep because insomnia is a horrible, horrible creature.
And you hyper-focused on guides?
Yeah, well, that's what happens sometimes. I got the guides done, didn't I? Didn't I? And they were functional. They seem to be functional. I mean, I've got some gardening bugs I need to handle. Finally figured out why that undefined bug is happening today. Apparently, I just needed to have it happen to me for me to actually understand what was going wrong.
Okay. Will there be a formal deadline on unredeemable REs? Asking given my mini challenge REs from months ago. Okay, so challenge RE. I'm sorry.
You need to speak up. They've said you're low but audible.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was asking you a question. Challenge REs are the ones where you have to do the images.
Yes.
So maybe we can talk to Quest/Bank and see if we can run ones that are revealed through Bank for the duration of the close. Does that seem fair?
That seems fair to me.
We'll have to talk to Alcestia, of course.
Yeah, because I don't really know what your rewards are for those. I've never done one.
There's a Stone of IPAC for one. I know that.
Okay. Obviously, there's a sheet out there that has all the information. So what we can do then, talking it out, compromising right now, is we'll reach out to Bank and see if you can maybe just put them in like the quests or the event redeems for January, February, March, and basically you'll have until the end of March to do them or it's gone. And that'll be for the challenge ones that require art. And for the rest, likely it'll just be April, go and make your decision or be done, right? Then they'll be voided. That's kind of where I think we're going to be at. But great question.
Will there be a heads-up journal for when to cash in faction points?
Heads-up journal?
Like a reminder? I could set up I need to put the reminder bot we use on the admin server in the gen server because Dino is terrible at reminders.
Yeah, Dino's real terrible. We can see about figuring out something like that. Usually we try and remind you in like the news and such, but yeah, we can see if the reminder bot can do a, hey, don't forget to do this, hey, don't forget to do this, sort of thing. But I don't know if we're going to do a full journal because the entire point is it would remove the need for a journal for faction points.
Follow-up. Will there be challenge REs in the new system? I'd like to keep them. I mean, that's the only aspect of art that exists in that part of the system.
Well, Don would like to keep them, so in some variety, possibly, probably is the answer. I'm not thinking we're going to cut a ton of stuff, just streamline it, and then there being art aspects to REs is not something we're against at all.
There is another question typing.
Yep.
And I'm going to stay and read it, and then I got to go grab our coffee from the door.
Huzzah!
Because I desperately need that caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine.
Could challenge REs turn into a sort of mini adventure for non-bonded kids? I think I pitched the idea of using the adventure engine at you, but it is a lot of code.
It's a lot of code, and I wouldn't want to be... This is going to sound so silly. Because your kid isn't bonded, I don't want you to be allowed to do adventures with them. So, because there's stats involved, right? And you don't get stats for being non-bonded. That's one of your benefits of becoming a bonded Toko. So, I will think about it, but it is a lot of work, it is a lot of code, and then it does remove the art aspect of everything.
Okay. I think you're good to go on. I'm going to go grab the coffee.
Okay, so wonderful timing, world. I always love it when the universe is on my side. So we move on to the next. Let's talk about, and this before we get to our big meat, these are just general updates, drinks. We released some of the new drinks that we talked about before, and we have 2 that people keep asking about and know they're not ready yet. So we have the Stellar Adventure Tea. Yeah, that's Stellar Adventure Tea, and is that silly? Is that the William Sanaka? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Take a deep breath. Everybody just take a deep breath. Okay. We're good. Everything is fine. It has been a long week, everyone. Thank you for your patience with me as I attempt to be perky and fun on a podcast. So we have 2 legendary drinks that are showing up on the monthly limits, but do not seem to be released. You're correct. They're showing up on the monthly limits because they're currently being wired into the system.
Here you go. Do you want your croissant or no?
I do want my croissant.
Okay, I'm going to go do the crinkly paper not in the room.
Cool. Can you open the straw wrappers not in the room? So, the first one is that, you'll see it there, the Stellar Adventure Tea. That is not released yet.
That was pretty good timing.
It was great timing. That's what I said. So it's not released yet. It probably won't be until March at the earliest, I think. It's on the monthly limits page. Dunn is talking about releasing those recipes early so you can start crafting them. But that being said, it's not there. That's what it looks like. That's the one that I believe adds to your adventure limits. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. And on the other one, the TCA drink, which I believe is the William Sanaka, or it's the chai. I don't recall what it is. The TCA drink may show up on the monthly limits page soon, but it won't be available until April. It's not going to be part of this round of taming. And part of that reason was Scram. But, you know, Scram scrambled away on day 1. So we've now got Scratch. That being said, I don't have time to code it in because I do need to make a code change for that and then add it to the monthly limits page so everything's all wonderful and automated. So that won't be there until April. Those are our next 2 planned legendary drinks. And yes, I will take questions about legendary drinks right now. Go for it.
Everybody's loving on the drinks. Star Trek Cup is identifiable, so success.
They understood the assignment.
Did you not remember which drink the TCA one was?
Nope, not at all.
It's the Toasty Chai Hara.
Okay. Forgive me for assuming it would be the hot cocoa that's on the spoiler screen.
No, those are the adventure drinks.
Okay,
We
they...
already showed off the chai last time.
That makes sense. All right, hold on. I'm going to move away from this microphone for a second.
Is Borgmeister still in the works? Yes, it's on my list of puns to use.
It is. It'll probably be the next time I go and get a round of art.
Yeah. I think. I want a brawl drink. I want a brawl drink to use for the Arizona iced tea spoof, but I don't know what that bonus is.
Neither do I, and we won't have time. Don and I are going to our normal... Okay. Give you guys just a little spoiler, and admins will be learning this probably as well. Dunn and I are making it through this weekend focused on Tokoland, probably. Cleaning up the last of the gardening things, making sure that the last guide is in place, and then we're going into low maintenance mode for at least a month. Not a month, sorry, a week. We're going into low maintenance Togos mode where it's no daddy explosions. It's, something is broken that I would need to usually work with Rion, and we would be debugging across time zones to figure it out. I will show up for that. We will likely still be in chat. I will still be rolling tamings. Like, that stuff's not happening. It's low maintenance, not hiatus. We're going to sit down and focus on our writing for a week because we basically had to put it off for a month to do all this stuff for Tokos. We're not resentful at all, but that does mean that we're carving some time back out for us. And then at the start of February, we're going off to our normal yearly writing conference. Actually, a couple other admins are coming with us this time.
Woo!
Yeah. So we're going off to that. And when we're there, we're basically unreachable. So we're trying to smooth things in place so that you have an easy rest of the month and you have an easy February open. Last year, bless them all, they did February open without us. So many spreadsheets were created. So many processes were put in place to help open the group because Dunn and I weren't there to do it. It was that moment where they're like, oh dear, two coworkers aren't here and everything is blowing up. And we're like, okay, let's not do that again.
Too much lives in my head, and that is my failing.
Yes, too much lives in Dunn's head. Which is funny, because she's actually better at writing process documents than me.
Debatable.
So just know that there will be 2 different weeks coming soon that Dunn and I will be very much low maintenance, not around. So don't expect big updates, and, we'll show up for the emergencies, of course. Try not to have an emergency. That's kind of where we're at. So let you know that. And that's part of the reason that some of these, like, legendary drinks and stuff won't be dropping right away, because they require so much time, effort, and work, and we're putting it towards stabilizing things for these 2 separate weeks we're gone. Okay? Cool. I think that's everything I have in the general updates category.
Cash swears to have at least 12 emergencies.
As I tell my coworkers, and let me be real clear about this, when I left for my Christmas, it was like December 19th I left and said I won't be back till January 2nd. Unless it's an emergency, I'm not going to answer the phone. And your text message about how it's an emergency is going to be extremely convincing to get me to answer that phone while I'm away on this little vacation. And I'm not even leaving the country. I'm just ignoring you all and doing other things. And we'll call him Ronnie. Ronnie responds to me, like, very straight-faced, and he goes, "We are never going to call you." And I was like, I've trained you all so well. Bye. I'm gone. Yeah. I have worked so hard with this, 18 developers to make it, when someone's on vacation, we leave them the F alone. When someone needs to take a kid to an appointment, or someone's got their own doctor's appointment, or somebody needs to step away for an hour and it's none of our damn business why, someone just goes to the meeting for them. It's not a big deal. We all cover for everybody regardless of their situation. And it's so wonderful that people just oh, I don't think I'd ever have another job like this again. I was like, I know. We've cracked paradise as far as work-life balance goes here. It's insane. And we're software developers. It's even more insane. So yes, it's going to have to be a real good text message, Cash. Okay. Let's talk about gardening. So, gardening. So is my bad word, and I know this.
What? Oh.
Yeah, it's the one that it's my I need to work on it so that I start sentences without so or all right. I had to try so hard to stop saying all right or right because that's super British, and you can always tell a British person by that. So I tried to bring it in a little bit and then went, now I just do right and so. So gardening. Let me set this to go to the actual slide I want it to go on. First off, let me hit up my incognito. Beta went live about 12 hours ago.
Maybe less.
Those
guides. It was only supposed to be one guide, and then we kept hitting this critical mass on the page where we're like, this has to go to its own page. And now we have 4.
Yeah, now we have 4. Okay. Oh, wow. Why are you using this theme? This theme is breaking my brain.
Because it is thematically appropriate.
But it's breaking my brain. Can I switch
I
it?
can't even see it. I mean, I guess you can switch it.
Okay, thank you.
Potato Farmer is the best.
Okay, but can we just do like spruced up? That's at least easier on my... Yeah, that's easier on my brain and also thematically appropriate. All right. I'm now going to go share the screen. Too many browns. Too many browns on brown. My brain couldn't understand it. Okay. I need my... You're being real blind right now, Jill. Where is it? Where are you at?
Oh, hey. Kep is correct. 11 and a half. Which means, yes, 12 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. It's... Nope, it's not garden setup. Yeah. Why are you fighting with me so hard right now?
Can't have a podcast go smoothly. Don't be silly.
That's how it feels. There we go. Okay, you're the one, right? Yeah, you're the one. Okay. Cool. Which then means turn you on. Turn that on. Okay. I've logged into iPack to do this. iPack doesn't have a garden, right? You didn't set him one yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So, let's start with gardening. It is officially in beta. This means it is open to everybody. You do not have to go to your profile page to sign up. Everyone should be able to find it here on the little menu. Pop into it here. You'll see your little notification. This is the last time you'll see this notification. We are not wiping out any data at the end of beta unless something truly catastrophic happens that requires it and we for some reason can't do some sort of data update. That's an almost impossible situation, but never say never. But we're not planning to wipe out any data. Whatever you do during this beta will persist into the live system. In fact, I really just expect to see some numbers changing across the board during long-term play. That's about it. If you haven't done it yet, then pop on over to the Manage Garden, set your region. Currently, we are in Tartalk's preferred season, just so you know, if you hadn't looked yet. And then, you have a... Who belongs to them? Is
Blank?
Is it Blank?
Is Blank bonded?
I don't remember bonding Blank. Oh, yeah, it's Blank. Blank.
Yeah, Blank's apparently T2 bonded.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I was like, hold on, why do you have a T2 bonded Toko? All right. Save. This is now on here. It's going to pop up the first time you do it because I'm too lazy to fix it and it only matters. And then the next time this pop-up will pop up every time you change regions. Because when you change regions, we wipe out your garden. Okay? You stay the exact same amount of plots as before, but we wipe out your garden. Dun dun dun. So as you can see, we're here. Notable changes. Down here in the corner, this used to say journal. Now it's sunrise log to be thematically, again, with what's going on. The first time you open the page a day and you have a new sunrise log, it will pop as a modal in your face. But when you click close, it will persist over there in the corner. So you can get back to it. All right. Trying to think if there's any other, real big changes to show off here. You know?
No, I suppose you can walk through the initial planting and stuff.
Yeah, I'll walk through the initial planting. I'll pull up the guides for us to take a look at real quick.
Everybody is getting a little bit of stuttering. I think it's screen sharing, but somebody fixed it by changing it to 720 in quality for streaming.
Okay, well, I guess I have to go to the farmer's market. Please tell me you got some TT. Oh, yeah, you got TT. Okay.
Yeah, iPack gets all testing stuff.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it popped up and said you have no dirt, so it won't even let you do the thing. Here on the farmer's market, we've added all these new seed packets. Was this one Star Day?
Yep.
Yeah. Star Day knocked these out for us. They're so pretty. I'm very, very happy with them. Oh, the random one does kind of look like birthday cake confetti. I do like that too. And we have 3 types of seed packets. I guess I'll do seed packets right now because I'm here, that are available. There is seasonal seed packets, family seed packets, and random. And you'll notice they have different prices. The price is directly related to how many possible plants are in there. And it works inversely. Random, you can get literally anything that's plantable in there. Anything at all, no control over it. The family seed packs, you're only going to get plants that are in that family. So vegetables, you're only going to be able to plant a vegetable. So it's a little bit of an up in the price for that. And for the seasonal ones, Dunn has assigned a season to each of the plants, and therefore they're kind of like a step in between. So every plant is in one of these. No, it is not a preferred season. No, it will have no effect on when you plant it and when you harvest it. It's just a collection of plants. I can see your face, but that's like a phase 2 or 3. For right now, it's a collection of plants. Okay, cool.
What face was that, Jill? The face of questioning you?
The face of conniving, the face of, but couldn't we? And I'm like, yeah, we can. We just don't have time right now. Additionally, we have changed it from a pile of dirt to a bag of dirt, and the bag of dirt gives away 5 to 10?
Pretty sure it's 5 to 10.
Dunn's checking.
Yep, equal chance 5 to 10.
Okay. So in the bag of dirt, it's 800 TT. Yes, these are all priced so that you won't make any money back. You're not supposed to make money back on buying bags of dirt. Okay? Just throwing it out there that you're not supposed to. All right, and then we're going to need a seed packet. What seed packet should we grab? What should we plant? Let's do this lovely sunflower. I can't see the chat right now, guys, so if you were saying something. All right. A bag of dirt. Purchase. Scroll on over to my bank. This shouldn't be... oh, why? Because I leave so much stuff in this bank.
You? All of us do.
All of us do. All right. Got 7 dirt. Cool. Pop back over to garden.
Why does iPack have a howl?
Oh, probably because I was testing something. Oh, iPack is getting the transfer from comments right now.
That makes sense.
Oh, it's fine. I'll handle that later. Okay. So blank. Dirt. Confirm. Boom. Successful. I am extremely unlucky with the bonus. All right. Water. Confirm. And then I guess we'll guard. What do I have left? 20?
Yep.
Ta-da! Whole first day of planting. That simple. I'll pop over to the garden journal. If you haven't seen this page yet, this is your total overview, how many rarities you've done, and how much experience. So you can see that blank has 1 plowing, planting, watering, and guarding because that's what they've done. I think she's she right now. We switch her a lot for whatever we need her for. And then region unlocks. Obviously, there won't be anything on these specific journals because we haven't unlocked anything yet.
Actually, blank has gone from a female Akota to a male Toki.
Oh, okay. He's a male Toki right now. Okay. So he moves as we need him to for the various things. So that's it. That's your day 1 of gardening. Everyone is welcome in. I do know that some little bugs have been brought out. Someone's got a bug with not being able to set up 2 tokos. Checking into that. I may have solved it, but I haven't gone through and double checked it. Now I know that blank can do it. I'll go add a starter to blank and do that real quick. Let me think. What else was there? And I know about the unidentified event. I figured out what's going on, everybody. I will have that one solved in no time. I just need to go and update a piece of code in the API. It'll be fast and easy, so I'll get it done today. And those are the only bugs I'm aware of at the moment. Obviously, the channels exist in Discord. Let me know. That being said, let me look at one more thing for gardening real quick. Okay. So we have spent days of our lives building some guides for you. There's 3 of them in existence right now, and a 4th one is coming soon. So welcome to the garden. The overview is actually the most in-depth about each thing that's going on for the garden in general. We have this lovely little legend right here where it shows you everything that exists on the screen. Yes, the legend says journal instead of sunrise log. I'm not willing to go and change it right now. I renamed it in the 11th hour. And here we have a nice little explanation of what each of these things are. So you can see all of the different pieces in the plant and where it is on the screen.
Okay, everybody has stuttering now. It's the screen share.
Is the screen share?
Yep.
Okay, do you want me to drop the screen share then?
Maybe just run through the other guides so they're on the video on demand, and then we'll switch back to slides and see if that resolves everything for everybody.
Yep. Okay, so just real quick, here's the plots, what they look like, the steps you're expected to take for all of them. We have regions and seasons so that you can see what's got poor and excellent compatibility, how to do the change, all the information about sunrise, which is very important. This is what happens every day on sunrise. And then I'm going to click these other ones to help us out real quick so that they're on this. Garden setup. This is what we just did. That which I just went through, that's what's here on garden setup. So this is your first time setup guide. You should only ever have to go to it the first time you're doing a setup. And everyone who is in the alpha, you already know this.
And shout out to Duck for helping us get this guide together while we were struggling on the other ones.
Oh yeah, seriously. She came in and helped out big time. And then finally, Garden Tokos. This is more information about the Tokotas you're using, the energy, how fatigue works, the exact thing, how experience works, and what they do with each item, or excuse me, with each action. So this is an in-depth of what the Toko does, how much energy it costs for a Toko to do thing, the bonuses you gain, so into the actions. This is probably the second most important guide. Okay? And then I'm going to kill the screen share and come back on over.
Okay.
There.
All right, we'll give it a minute. Talk.
Talk. So that's where gardening's at. There's more to come. We are going to do a plants guide. The plants guide will have in-depth information about the families, what you need to know about them. There's not actually a ton. In-depth information about growing cycles, rarity, and how seed packets work as well. I think that's everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, and yield sizes. So how we determine the yield for each plant. We're going to put that on the plants guide. Some of this information may get echoed across multiple guides. We'll get there when we get there. We just had to make sane decisions about how to split this information up because the page was too big.
We hit the max character limits even with resource pages going on.
Yeah, we hit the max character limit twice, even with sections that are broken out into resource pages to prevent that. You're like, what's a resource page? It's basically just a little snippet of Tokopedia that we can put on any page with a single line of code rather than copy pasting it over. That's how design guides are going to work. I think they got built for design guides. Okay.
Actually got built to unbreak the rights of dominance page when we added all the new companions.
Okay, that's actually fair and true. They got built because the Rights of Dominance Tokopedia page broke the limits. And we went, okay, do we add more to this limit? Because that could be rough on our database. Or do we code a solution? And that day my brain decided to work and solve a problem that had been sitting there for years to be solved. And went, why don't you just do this, Jill? I'm like, oh my God, why don't I do that? That's just so much easier for everybody.
And it's more or less what you had planned for DC guides, I don't know, in 2018.
Yes.
Had finished.
DC guides, I started building a whole new system with its own pages and tables, and I was like, oh, this is so boring because I'd already done it. It was called Tokopedia, but my brain didn't realize that at the time either. And then I went, why can't we just use Tokopedia for the design guide? Yeah, like it wasn't obvious. Anyone typing?
We've got questions, and it does seem like it is smoothing back out for some people. If it's not, try refreshing TC.
And the video on demand will be there this time.
All right. Okay, on to the questions. Would you like us to keep using the garden feedback channels, or will there be a new venue for beta feedback?
No, go ahead and keep using them. I would like to keep it all in one place. Maybe I'll put some lines in there like beta start so that we can distinguish it that way, but keep to the same channels. Everyone should be able to type in there. Nobody was locked out.
Did you mention how often seasons would change?
Seasons change every month. So every month is associated with a season. Right now in Tokotas, it's vernal.
Yeah, and they don't correspond with real life seasons at all.
Not even remotely. That's why we picked some more off-the-wall names for it, but we were struggling to come up with truly fake names for them, so we went with some off-the-wall, vernal, estival, things that we don't use in common day vernacular instead of spring, summer, and winter. And we didn't want to confuse it with Tokotas season. These are specifically growing seasons, and they move every single month. So January through April, we will hit all 4 growing seasons. And it is 4 because 4 split into 8 better than 3.
Yep.
Yeah. And we could just do what we did for the starter regions. So for starter regions, you get 2 preferred seasons. Tartok will be in season for January and March, while Tanya will be February and April. That's how that will roll. But they don't have any compatibility bonuses. They just have 2 different preferred seasons, whereas other regions have 1 preferred season, so it'll only be in season 3 times a year rather than 6, but it does have an excellent compatibility. So if there's a specific plant that you're running after, like, you will harvest more of them in this area. But they do have the downfall of a poor compatibility as well with a family. And yes, they are kind of designed to make it difficult, or at least decision-make worthy. You can't just find a place where you can grow everything that you need for Ewa stones all the time, super easy. All right, other questions?
Will there be another way to boost plant health after watering?
Not at the moment. Weeding, if you grew weeds, there's a chance that you can heal 5. I want to say it's about 5. There's a chance of healing 5 when you remove weeds. As of right now, there's no other...
There's plot events that heal.
Oh, that's true. There are plot events that heal as well. In fact, I got one last night. I got sheep. Sheep came through my garden, healed my plants. It's pretty nice. Or I think removed the weeds that grew. One of the two. I think sheep remove weeds. They eat them. They're sheep. So plot events can happen that increase it as well. Guarding will not prevent a positive plot event. Fireflies will still happen, sort of situations. It'll just stop a domestic cat from bringing a bunch of weeds into your garden. What we're probably looking at, Dunn and I have been talking about it, the very first bonus that we're going to do is the gardener bonded trait. That's first. And
we have our second one confirmed.
Ooh, and Muddy Puppy.
Yep. Lord Ruffles.
Okay, Lord Ruffles, who is the Muddy Puppy. He's confirmed as well. And lastly, we were talking about it last night, and we're talking how watering cans are going to work. Watering cans do directly affect watering for obvious reasons. So we'll likely be implementing those as soon as I can feasibly get to it among my other projects. And I think the way watering cans, think being the keyword, 1 second. I think watering cans will basically give you a bonus to plant health for X amount of waterings before you need to get a new one. They won't be linked to specific tokos. I think you'll spend them on the garden to do this. Okay.
Last question. Will gardening also close when Tokotas closes for the month?
No. It's not linked to open or close in any capacity. It, much like crafting, it has its own open and close flag in our system. But no, it won't be closing with group close because the admins don't have to do maintenance on threads. And that's kind of the big difference between if something opens or closes.
Adventures closes usually because Rhea's coding us something shiny.
Exactly. Adventures needs close time for... They do standard close time so that they know when they're always pushing in updates. things like crafting, I might shut it down. You'll get a Discord warning. Hey, crafting's going to be down for the next 3 hours as I make a major change. Gardening will be more in that variety at the moment.
Okay. I think that's all the questions we've got.
Okay.
The next section is screen share, but that's clearly what's causing the issue.
That is clearly what's causing the issue.
Do we go to our slides section and then wrap up Twitch and then move over to Discord stage for the trackers?
No, I think we could probably do it in... I wanted to screen share on-site trackers. I thought it would be really nice, but maybe what we can do is if you take some screenshots and toss them at me, I can just throw them up on the slides.
Okay. Give me a minute. You're gonna have to... I think everybody's kind of far behind us because they're just reacting to Lord Ruffles.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Twitch is clearly still having a time.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'll switch the order here. I'll just do Combo Totems while you grab screenshots of trackers.
What screenshots do you need off of me?
Go to your My Tokos page and give me a screenshot of the link. Go to Toko with... Actually, I have it for you. I'll give you the link to it. Da-da-dum. Look at us on the fly. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. This is what I want. Okay. And then just give me some screenshots of these pages as well. And I'll talk through the rest. Okay. So we're going to move things around a little bit. I guess there's still some latency going on at... Yeah, I think latency is the right word. Going on. So I'm going to switch things to keep us on the slides longer. I'm going to talk about Combo Totems, and after Combo Totems, we'll talk about trackers, and Dan will have pulled me some screenshots that I will just ad hoc into the screen share.
Okay, somebody is saying that it's still bumping in and out. How do we refresh our connection?
We'd have to stop it.
I guess we would just have to stitch the two videos together.
I really don't want to have to do that again. Is it everyone or one person?
Not sure how. I don't know why I'm talking out loud to them.
Yeah, type in the chat to them. Your typing is so loud, the microphone picks it up.
But my voice isn't.
Yeah.
Voice is glitchy.
Is it everyone or one person?
Oh, wait. Several people are typing.
Okay.
2-minute delay right now. There, we're talking about grabbing screenshots.
Silence.
Okay.
Silence.
Shadow needed to refresh to get caught up, but I think I'm okay. So everybody seems to be in a different spot of this.
Y'all may want to refresh then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's...
Everyone refresh. We are...
Seriously, Twitch. All right. We're going to take a 60-second pause. That's what we're going to do. So that everybody can refresh and join us where they're supposed to be on this little live stream. Seriously, Twitch, the heck, you have one job in this situation. Stream it. But we're going to take, basically, this is the minute pause where nothing is happening. We're not moving forward. You can all refresh and join me. We will talk about something silly and random, and we'll just have a weird couple of minutes on the stream. It happens, apparently, these days, all the time now.
Okay, everybody's hearing us fine. They're still seeing the drinks. That's normal.
Okay, yeah, you should be seeing the drinks.
A little bit of stuttering, but...
We can't do anything about that. That's just Twitch.
Yeah, but I think... Okay, so... Interesting. If we're going to do anything screen share, I think it's got to be through stages, which is annoying, but we can plan for that.
I guess. We've been doing more of them than we had before. Okay.
All right.
I'm still going to switch the order of stuff, and we're going to move on to Combo Totems.
Yeah, I've got to go grab screenshots for you.
All right, so I'm switching screens now, everybody. Boom. Combo Totems. Here's what's going on. We talked about these forever ago. I made a random comment. Another person made a random comment too. And then I was like, could we? Combo Totems is the answer to, can I have more slots on my totem pole? No. The entire point of totems is that they are powerful and they are decision makers. They are extremely powerful boosts, usually to your entire account, not to a specific Tokota. So with that in mind, you get 10. When we only had 8, it was super easy. Now we have like 50, so you can only have like 20% of them active at any point in time. That being said, I do know that some of the earlier game totems aren't all that powerful. And early game totems, even to me, are most of the bank ones, like wolf and... It's not wolf.
Coyote is the hunting one you're thinking
of. Yeah, coyote, bat, things like that. They're still earlier game totems because all you have to do to get them is take something to alpha, right?
Or wait, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about bank totems. Those are the rights totems.
Those are the rights. So the rights and the banks are what I'm talking about.
Yes.
They're not too complicated for anybody to get. They're not too time consuming. So we're looking at those, and they're the ones that we're starting with on the concept of combo totems. What we're staring at on the screen right now is gecko and eel. They just dropped in January. And this is a caving and diving totem. Yes, we do know it means that you can use them with totemic blessing. Okay, cool, awesome. Be happy there's more than one way for it to be done. But these two are the matching versions of... These are the matching versions to which ones?
So, the companion or the actual diving companions?
These ones are the companion equivalents for caving and diving. Yes. Okay. Totems can get very complicated.
Sorry, I was doing something.
It's fine. It's fine. So, eel and gecko dropped, and they are step 1 of us bringing combo totems in. I'm going to explain what a combo totem is if you can't tell from the name, and then I'll show the next screen. So a combo totem is the combination of 2 totems. The first one that we will be releasing is in February. It will be Periton, and Periton is a combination of...
You made me put this on the sheet, so I closed my thing.
Oh, it's right there, never mind, of hawk and deer. So hawk and deer totem are going to become the Periton totem. And I mean, I think that's really cool. They're gonna, whatever they become will be somewhat related to what they were. So Peritons have hawk-ish and deer-ish features. There you go. I'll show them off in a moment. And the way that that works is it takes up 1 spot on your totem pole and has both effects. Dan and I have been back and forth. She's trying to pitch that it should be a stronger effect, and I'm saying no. So for the moment, I've won that. And the answer is no, they're just both effects taking up 1 spot. That's your bonus. Let me go ahead and show them off now. In addition to Periton, we're going to have a version of that for every activity. Boom. So we're going to have a dragon totem, a Nessie totem, a werewolf totem, a Kamatachi totem, and a Periton. So dragon will be bat and gecko totem. You have tape toe written there.
Did I seriously write tape toe?
You did. It confused me for a second. So dragon will be bat and gecko. You see it. You see how we get a dragon out of that? And that will have the effect of both. Nessie will be orca and eel. Werewolf will be the wolf and coyote. Kamatachi will be eagle and mink. And Periton will be hawk and deer. And these will be releasing throughout the year. Here's some of the limitations about how I think this is going to work. I think we're going to limit you to no more than 3 combo totems at a time. We had initially wanted to say, we would just do the top 3 spots in your totem pole could be a combo totem. Some of the art is really, really cool, though, and would be very visually pleasing at other spots on the totem pole, so we're not going to hold to the top 3 spots, but we are going to hold to only 3 spots on your totem pole may have a combo totem on them. So that's the equivalent of getting 3 more combo spaces, but just for 3 more totem pole spaces, but just for very limited effects. Okay? Let me think. So we're going to do the 3. Having the bat totem and the dragon totem will not get you twice the effect. The dragon totem overrides the bat totem. So there's no point in putting bat or gecko on your totem pole if you have dragon, unless you visually just want to see it. At that point, you were visually doing it, and it's on you.
I mean, you keep Bat Totem on your totem pole just for the visuals.
I do, and I may continue. There's no guarantee that I'm going to go and get the dragon totem anytime soon. Here's how I think you will unlock them. All combo totems will require you to have their prerequisite totems. So for dragon, you will need to have bat and you will need to have gecko. And you will unlock them the way that their current page says. After that, once you have bat and you have gecko, you do not automatically get dragon. You still have another totem level challenge that you need to do. And then you would put it into your totem unlocks to get dragon. Had we decided yet on these ones?
No, we're still dancing back and forth. We had an idea for one of the other combos.
Okay, we had an idea for one of the other combos. So we don't know exactly how we're going to do it. We have to solve that problem for Perryton for February. And I think that's actually partly what our raffle is going to be about today.
Maybe.
I think that's what I had put down for the raffle.
Yeah, it was.
It is. Okay, so the raffle, should I just kick that open right now?
We should finish discussing them.
And then I'll kick that open. Okay. So we need to pick an appropriate level of totem work for you to do to unlock dragon from there. You'll unlock it, and then it'll be an option to go on your totem pole. There'll be the 3. Those are what we have planned for the bank totems. Those are the limitations we have in place. I'm never going to say never to having increased power on totems. I'm never going to say never to not allowing you to have more. But I think this is a good balance right now. And this allows us to have those effects without creating too much more work visually across the system for us to do as well. This way we don't have to go and update the entire totem system to add another spot or 2.
Yeah, which is the issue with adding the top 2 spots.
Exactly. And of adding a 4th pole and doing all the things that we need to do. It's a delicately balanced visual system, and this is a back-end developer here, so yeah. Let me see. Any questions about the bank totems? I do have some more that I'm going to show off to you all, but I will ask if you any questions about the bank totems or combo totems in general, and then I'll show off all of the other ones. I have 6 more.
Yeah, so some people are still having issues with Twitch, but apparently it's a Twitch issue.
Okay, it's a Twitch issue. It's not us. Yeah. And they can see the video on demand after.
Mm-hmm. Brain, I had a thing that I was going to say to you, but I've completely spaced it.
Is anyone typing?
Let me go see if anybody's typing.
No, I was like, it's question time done. Is anyone typing?
Don't seem to be typing in questions yet, but they are on a slight delay from us.
Oh, that's a good point. So I have to fill the time with stories.
We can do a shout out for Kep and Tina for being absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Lads. Oh my god.
Monsters. Absolute monsters, which is appropriate. Anyone who knows anything about Jill and Dunn know that they love monsters. They love dragons and hippogriffs and unicorns. I have a special place in my heart for the horse with a knife on its head. National animal of Scotland, everybody. Completely real. Go look it up. The national animal of Scotland is a unicorn, and our second favorite animal is a haggis, both of which do not exist.
But do exist in Tokos now.
But they do exist in Tokos now because I am Scottish and I run this thing. So I don't know why the country I come from has 2 completely not real animals as its 2 most important animals. That's Scotland for you. Probably just screwing with the English. But we love monsters. And somebody said the words of, well, couldn't we combine these and make this mythological creature? And I was like, I am now totally 100% back on board for combo totems. I will figure out how to make this work so that we can have these. Yes, I know that is ridiculously selfish, but I made the channel over a year ago to talk about it. Over a year ago, and it got stalled out. Someone said that it reinvigorated everything, and I was like, this would be amazing. And then Kep and Tina just happened to be in general chat as this is happening, and they're both like, oh, I could do that. And I was like, you actually could. You really could make this art, and you could make it fast, probably. I'm thinking in 3 months I'll have all of this. They're like, nah, 3 days. I was like, oh, I would have settled for 3 weeks, but I'll take it. So they were like, oh, I can do it. We threw down a combo totem channel where Alcestia, who was helping with all of the art budget or all of the art ordering and such, was there as well. and we sat down and came up with a list. Okay, mostly I came up with a list and told people what to do. It was a little bit, again, selfish of me, but you're all going to benefit from it.
I had some skin in this game.
You did. You found creatures for the what if we do this?
Yeah,
I did kind
right.
of dictate what got a combo totem and what didn't. And I justified it as I'm in charge of totems. I know Sasu does all the unlocking, but that's actually one of my departments. It is actually one of mine. So we did all of that. Any questions out there catching up?
Oh yes, there's questions.
Beautiful. Hit me with them.
I think they're behind because everybody's just hearing about haggis, but that's fine. We're just gonna roll with this.
Just roll with it.
Okay. Is the combo totem limit strictly for bank totems, or will there be additional limits if different types of combos are created?
It's across the board. It will be 3 combo totems. You cannot have a full totem pool of combo totems. Yet. As of right now, no. No.
Can you say what the totems' names are again? I missed them.
Oh.
So maybe start from the
Okay. So the names are, for the bank ones, Dragon Totem, which will be bat and gecko. Nessie, as in the Loch Ness Monster, which is orca and eel. Werewolf, which is wolf and coyote. Kamatachi, which is eagle and mink. And Periton, which is hawk and deer.
Maybe some of these will get more tokified names, but maybe not.
Maybe not, right? We enjoy creatures from all over the world. We are a world culture game, not a native culture game anymore.
Will there be a Mothman totem?
Very possibly. I just have to figure out what creates it and like justify it in some variety.
All right, I think that's our questions. I'm switching back to chatter, which is wild.
Okay. Perfect. Which means then I...
Oh, hot take.
Whoa.
So, cash. Dakota equals Scotland. Got it. R as counters. Theory. Scotland isn't real. That's why no real animals.
Ooh, okay. I see it. Coming at me with knives right now. I'll have you know that I'm faking that American accent all day, every day, because it's just a lot easier on everyone, because I get faster and faster when I talk like this and even harder to understand.
It'll be fun in 2-3 minutes when they catch up to that.
Oh, it'll be great in 2-3 minutes when they catch up to this. They still won't understand a word I said. So, American, you're on a podcast. It's so much easier for everyone around the world to understand this plain American accent, West Coast American accent, versus my Scottish. So, other totems. We do have more. I have already greenlit these, and breeding HU and DC are probably just going to have to go along for the ride. Yeah, that's right. I said breeding HU and DC. Boom. So, breeding. I have 2 totems coming for breeding. I have the Cerberus totem and the Chimera totem. Cerberus will be bumblebee, okapi, and moose. The Chimera will be rabbit, rhino, and capybara. No, Cerberus is not it's not a bumblebee, okapi, moose, Cerberus. That would have been wild, but no. The concept there is it's 3 animals to make a 3-headed dog, and 3 animals I think is like the minimum you need to technically be a Chimera. And these ones are going to do the effect of all 3 of those totems together. Bumblebee, okapi, and moose are... Moose's dyers.
Moose's dyers, okapis are, is that Taquinos? And then bumblebee is, of course,
Tokotokos. So those 3 are going to become the Cerberus. So 1 totem that does all 3. And on the other side, rabbit, rhino, and capybara is...
Are capybaras?
I thought they were Akotas.
Okay, okapi is haras.
Okay, okapi's haras.
Rhinos are Akotas, capybaras are Taquinos, and rabbit is starters.
Okay. And obviously, like, Mira and Sanaka...
Use the other one. Use those ones that exist.
Use those ones that exist, too. So there will be 2 splits. If you want to have all the Furtsup totems, you can do it in 2 spaces once you unlock these. You will need to have all 3 of the prerequisites, and then 1 more thing on top of that we'll be sorting out what that 1 more thing is, and that'll be the breeding ones. For HU, we have Griffin and Morse. Morse is sometimes called a seahorse or a sea lion. I think it's called a sea lion, but we're using the word Morse to not confuse it with non-mythical sea lions.
Because we do have sea lion.
Exactly. So for HU, Griffin totem, these are flipped, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the DC totems. Ignore me.
These are the DC totems, everybody. The DC totems will be Griffin and Morse. Here's what they are. So the Griffin totem will be Lioness and Butterfly. Butterfly is the hand paints.
Yep.
So with Butterfly, you'll be able to have the +1 DC slot plus the extra free hand paints. And for Morse, it's Lioness and Walrus. So you could have the free DC slot and the Scar Packs. I do not know if you can have both of these active at the same time. I'm kind of back and forth. Obviously, it's 2 variants with Lioness as being the base totem there. You will not get 2 slots if you have both of them open, because the Lioness is still like, you can only have 1. So what you would likely do is put Lioness in one place and then Griffin in one and Walrus in the other, or vice versa. Okay? And the Morse totem is actually what convinced me not to force them to be on the top spots, because the Morse is so cute. It looks like Atlas holding up the world, and therefore I know other people are going to want it to hold their totem pole up or hold up something else that they love. So you can blame that for why I'm making it more difficult for myself. So those are the ones. DC is coming out. Because I know people really like Lioness, and people like the concept of Butterfly and Walrus, but it's very hard to justify it as a slot. Now you can, because you can just put it in your Lioness slot. And then for HU, okay, you're going to have to remind me what a lot of these ones do. We have 2 come in for HU. We have Hippogriff and Kitsune. So Hippogriff will be the owl and the ram, and the owl is...
removes the breed limitations on prompt for rights of merit and bonding.
Right.
And ram is auto-excellent AOAs.
And auto-excellent AOAs. So it's kind of very an AOA specific. If you have Hippogriff, then you can do whatever prompts you want, and it's always going to be excellent. Yes, I know, admins, you have that one benefit that allows you to get excellent AOAs. It's not a secret. We don't hide it from people. It's not super useful for you. But keep in mind, you cannot use it to get this totem. Okay? Because you can't use it to get, I think it's ram. So.
Oh, man.
What?
Every time we talk about ram, I feel like you say that.
Well, I have to be real clear. You cannot use this benefit to get the totem. So, everyone doesn't stay an admin forever, so it will matter to them someday. And then for Kitsune, it's Fox and Lamb. Fox is the bonus to RODs.
It's the +5 to RODs and POTAs.
+5 to RODs and POTAs, and then Lamb is 15 HP for all of your Tokos. I love this thing. Don's like, you always have Lamb. I'm like, I know. I'm never taking it off. It's 15 free HP for every Toko. So that will be Lamb. So likely I will be after the Kitsune one very soon here as well. So those are the planned totems, combo totems to release. I don't know if they were all released this year. We will be spacing them out because they will require code updates in certain places to account for, do you have, Fox, or do you have Kitsune? And then if you have one, only show the bigger one, which would be like the Kitsune one. So they'll be coming out across the year, maybe into next year, but these are planned, signed, sealed, and as you can see, I have the art done. So it's really just a release schedule to get them out the door and to make sure nothing is too broken. Okay. Any other questions about totems, and then I'll kick off the raffle.
Okay. So there is one in questions, but there's one in chatter that I'm watching, and they are just getting to the HU totems right now. Quest totems, maybe. Do we want to touch on what we thought of? Because we've been trying to figure out how to do deity totems for so long.
Oh, right. Yeah, we can do that. You know what? I'm going to hand this to Dun, because this was Dun's idea, and I'm going to eat while she does it.
I don't remember what we changed on my idea, though. Did we change anything on my idea?
I'll tell you if you did.
Oh, okay. So, quest totem, deity totems have been something we've kicked around. I think Mizzy did a beautiful IPAC totem ages ago, and we were like, we want deity totems for the totem poles, but they feel like they should be big bad bonuses. What do they do? The current thought right now is that you have to have the requisite festive totem, so that'd be Snowfall, Tokoween, and then not sure what the other half of it is, but the deity totems would be an upgraded of the holiday quest totem and then a shrine bonus totem.
So maybe hamster?
So probably hamster. You just made me spoil. Darn it. So those are in planning. That's our general thought right now, but obviously one half of it isn't out, so we'll keep you guys in the loop as we work on those.
Talk for like another minute.
Okay, I'm gonna go read the podcast question while you eat your Danish question mark.
Delicious, delicious Danish.
Yep. Okay, because I'm horrible at remembering, when the combos go live, can we have a way to distinguish which are combos in the totem select drop down, maybe like a gray color behind the name so we can visually identify the combo before we select them? Probably easiest way, we could just append like a star next to the front of it, and then that'll make them visually stand out without having to play with colors, which are not very consistent between devices.
We could also just call it like Chimera Combo Totem.
That's true. That is actually way true. Oh, apparently they're still listening to your aggressiveness about Lamb Totem.
It's the best totem.
I also have it equipped, but I will happily trade it out when it's taming month. All right. I don't think there's any more questions, but that could just be because Twitch has them so far behind us. This is very strange. Twitch, why?
I'm almost done. You have to do like 30 more seconds of vampire.
Okay. What am I doing? Let's see. Will I get my way with every combo totem? Definitely. I'm going to put some weird animals in this. I'm going to find the craziest cryptids. Water panther. That's happening.
What's that? Lioness and
Well, no, because I would have just done that for Morse. No, it's got to be cooler. Maybe it'll be tiger and something. Though tiger's pretty powerful on its own. Oh, I guess that's a point to talk about on combo totems. Not every totem is valid for a combo. Beaver totem, crazy powerful. Probably not getting comboed. Painted dog, same thing. Budgie, however, I know re-expressed an interest in a combo, so we're playing with what we're going to make with that. Maybe that'll be a Pegasus. So we've got a lot of horse flying things now.
well, yeah, that's because there's just a bizarre amount of horse flying legends. Okay.
That is true. Ooh, Thunderbird.
Ooh, a Thunderbird would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that.
Okay, they're listening to me being tricked into spoiling, but
Okay, so Thunderbird would be what? Budgie and something else?
yeah, we don't have another adventure totem to pair it with, so we'd have to pick something or make a new adventure totem.
Or make a new adventure totem. Obviously.
Ree, we'll talk to you after the podcast.
All right. So I know you all are still catching up with me as we go here. I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the raffle at this point in time.
But we'll leave it running pretty long because of the delay.
Exactly. So for the raffle, how do you suggest we unlock combo totems? You've now seen all of them that are coming. So give me a suggestion for what you need to do to unlock one of these totems. Put it in the Discord raffle channel. Okay, thank you.
Podcast raffles.
Yeah, podcast raffles in Discord. Podcast raffles in Discord. Yes. Whew. Okay.
Apparently everybody remembers hamster. So you've spoiled the art at some point, but not the bonus.
Oh, it's Shrine. The bonus is Shrine. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it.
Oh, we've got another question popping. Hold on.
Yeah.
Will combo totems stack with their individual ones?
No. I'm sorry. I thought I said that. Combo totems will not stack with their individual ones in any capacity. Having multiple lionesses will not get you multiple DC slots. You only get one.
We have a question, but it's not relevant to anything going on the podcast, so I'm going to not, because generally as a rule, this is, yeah. I'll respond to you in chat on this.
Okay. Done will respond to you in chat. Alrighty. Okay. So, given that it's still very, very slow, I will take my screenshots. Yeah, you'll have to do. Okay. Whew. So, next on our list to talk about is on-site trackers. I had this beautiful little plan to do a screen share, but obviously it is not in the cards for us today to do another screen share. Thank you for that, Twitch. So Dunn has grabbed me some screenshots, and I will put those screenshots up for us to take a look at. All right. So, first one's first, on-site trackers. Here's what's going on. We have opened a beta for on-site trackers. All that the trackers currently do is allow you to view them on Tokotas. You can find the link on your My Tokos page currently. If you can see the screenshot that I have up here, Dunn has beautifully put a little box around it. So you'll go to your Toko and you'll see in the form right there, now on the end, there's a tracker link. Everybody has one, but only 10 people plus Dunn are in the beta for this. So don't expect your roles to come there unless you were one of the people I specifically told in the beta that was there. This is the link you will also use for your bank forms. I fixed that this morning. Apparently, I just forgot to push the folder live. My bad. So now there should be a role page as well. So when you do it, it'll give you the full details of the role. It'll tell you success or failure. It'll tell you who rolled it and when. So we need that information. That information is important for correcting problems. All right. And it'll also have a picture of your art. It'll look very similar to how the taming entry page looks, in just that split column layout so that we can visually see the art as well. Bank doesn't need to see the art. It's purely for fun. Yeah. And then when you're an admin, you'll have a button on there for basically marking this as complete. During the beta, everything that you get in the role has to be redeemed and banked upfront. There's no partial banking. I know that's not super common anymore, but I needed to call out and say that it couldn't happen. Sometimes there's reasons like people leave something in a comment for a little bit longer. You have to do a full redeem when you're doing any of these. And the people I've picked have agreed to be very active. So we are expecting lots and lots of roles to come into the system. And I have one of them actually. What it's going to look like. I really hope Skits is okay with us seeing their art on the stream. They were the first role that was put in the system, or the first role I found when I went and looked in the system. And as you can see here, it's got the full details of the ID, the Toko, who owns the role. The user on here is the only person who can redeem the role, regardless of who owns the Toko at this point in time. It's got the status of the role. Is it pending? Is it completed? I'll probably add some more broken out fields on here for REs in the future as well. It's got the art, and then there will be the button for doing the the completion. So this is what it looks like for the individual roles. There's also a search screen. The search screen allows you to filter by success, failure, is there an RE? I did even add a search so you can search for things in the comments, but keep in mind it's exact. It's not very smart search, so you do need to you can type Amber in and it'll pull you everything with Amber that meets your other criteria, but if you misspell Amber, it can't figure that out. Okay? And I think it's no more than 20 roles are visible on a page at a time, and we'll keep it like that. The pagination allows us to do this, so we will not ever have a lazy, we call them lazy loads. What DA has, where the infinite scroll, that's called a lazy load. And we're not going to do that. We're going to stick to pagination because it allows us to do plenty. And those links should be copy pastable to people as well to make it easier. I did have it brought up to me today that I did put an entry for dangerous game, but the activity roller just treats those like hunting. They're not their own thing. I will make a decision about that shortly, and maybe we'll do away with the dangerous game filter because I have to do a lot of work in the activity roller to mark those separately. It may not be worth our time because there's nothing different about dangerous game and hunting as far as redeems go. You put them in the same thread. All right. Man, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the trackers. Where are we going with this? So the beta for this beta 1 will last for the month. It is purely to get roles into the system. That's the entire point of the on-site trackers, is to get roles into the system so that we can prove that it works. With real data coming across what it actually looks like. Because of course in my testing will make it perfect, but we need to know that activity rollers can do this and that CEs can do this, that it's not too complicated for them to do this on a daily basis when they're doing their work. So The big update's been made to the activity roller to send things across via an API. We've added validations and securities. We are making sure that nobody can send a role without being an active and validated admin at this point in time as well. Let me think. Is there anything else?
They're saying the image hasn't switched for the role to the role for them.
They're still just seeing the My Tokotas page?
Yeah, I refreshed and it's got this. Oh my god, Twitch, what is up?
It's fine. It's fine, everybody. You can go see them on the Tokota yourself right now. And I'm not fighting with Twitch at this point.
I can just drop a link to that role ID.
Yeah, you could just drop a link to that. So, where was that? So we're putting...
Oh, thank you, Ella.
Security first. We're making sure everything looks good. Data seems to be coming across. As of right now, activities has not reported any errors or anyone being unable to. R made them a cute little guide that seems to be working. Once we get through phase 1, what's next? Well, what's next is probably having those comments generate bank forms of some variety, I think, or moving it so that the TT Calc is connected and integrated with it in some way. Like, that's kind of our next step towards that. That might take a little longer, though, than what we currently have. And then, obviously, we're talking about a bunch of new RE updates, so we want to integrate that into here as well. By pure dumb luck, well, it's not dumb luck. It was foresight. It was a little bit of, like, happy coincidence foresight, but it was foresight. We've known for a while that DA is not our friend. They've made that clear. They're not our friend. And they don't like ARPGs for whatever reason. I don't understand. We bring activity to your site, which is important even. And we all spent money. We all bought core and we all got supergroup. So I don't know. I guess it wasn't enough money. But we've been putting pieces of this foundation in place for a long time. We have been putting pieces of this foundation in place since the site went live in 2018. First it was the banks, then it was the imports, then it was TAC apps, then it was the TT calculator came before all that. Then it was one more thing and one more thing and one more thing. And then re-cracked the code on how we can do big data loading of lots of roles and such, slots and all of that, without killing the system with totem trackers. Slots came online. So slowly we've been working towards this. We now have the framework in place that allows us to know what a Toko has on it easily, to add things to inventories easily, and to build the screens needed for people to do redeems. The last hard part of it was, how do we get roles into our system securely? Well, we cracked that code over December, didn't we? Now we're getting secure roles in the system. Now we bring all of that information together, and this is step 1 of having auto bank redeems. Auto is the wrong word. Allowing you to redeem yourself. So have self-service.
Self-checkout. Let's call it self-checkout.
No, self-service is the word. This is allowing you to self-service bank. So you can make your own decisions about, I want to add this, I want to remove this, I want to do it myself. Bankers are still not going away, though. That's not how it's going to work. It's just they're going to have, hopefully, by the end of the year, less redeem work to finish on and more other fun stuff to do. But that's where we're going here. So phase 2 will likely be some version of integrating this with a bank, and then we'll just keep going from there. This project is probably a full year project to get us to the point that we are no longer reliant on DA for our trackers. These will work for CE roles from activities or extra roles that you get from your companions. These should also show up over there. Will we have a version of this for career tracking for CEs? Yes, but I think it's like phase 5, not phase 2 even. So that's where we're going with trackers. Okay, questions about on-site trackers. I know you're all running a couple minutes behind, so I will be vamping for a little bit while you catch up and then start asking me questions.
You actually have 2 questions.
Oh, I do? Oh, never mind. Hit me with them.
Will there be a way to enable notifications for these roles?
I think so. We need to start taking a look at our notification system. Right now, you have a full history of your notifications, and I think that needs to change. Everybody super likes them. And I agree, they're great. But I think maybe notifications will only last for like a year before we start dumping them out of the system. That seems fair and reasonable to me.
Well, I mean, I don't need my Tokotas receives from. Oh wow, I've got my extra trick or treat rolls from visitors October 5th, 2018.
Exactly. I think we need to start
Clearing them out.
clearing them out and on that particular table. It's not an issue today, but with more and more notifications coming into the system, I think it will be. Also, I'm probably going to disable recipe reveal notifications come pretty soon here.
Yeah, because you're on the screen where you.
It used to be that Cash would press the button and you would be informed, right? That's why they exist. And I just copy pasted that code into the recipe reveal on the player side. And that's why it's still there. So I do know that notifications are probably on my list for some TLC this year. And that means if everybody can live with, you're only going to have like your 2024 and maybe half of your 2023 notifications, then I can start enabling those as well. But yes, I do want you to get notifications. It's just not in this MVP right now because it really was the minimum amount of work to get us receiving rolls.
All right. Will there be a way to boost the amount of rolls per page, i.e., 20 to 40 to 50?
I guess my question would kind of be why? Why would you need to see 50 rolls?
I guess if you're looking for proofs and stuff, but all those proofs are going to start being connected directly to your Toko for successful rolls and totems and the like.
Yeah, that's like a phase 3 pieces. We'll just pull from here to say, oh, we have this many confirmed successes for you. Because why would we make you count them? That's ridiculous. And it doesn't mean that you can't lose these successes. If they're on Tokotne, they're good. They're golden. So that's like, phase 2 is probably going to... phase 2 really should be HU stuff, but phase 2 is probably going to be bank part 1. Phase 3 will be HU, and then phase 4 will be like bank part 2, and then phase 5 will be how does CEs work into all of this? Can we move your career tracker?
Yeah. Oh man, this is going to be... Oof.
Yeah, there's a reason CEs is phase 5, because I know there's a lot more foundational work I need done over there.
I'm just thinking about when I started at the start of December, when I was like, I guess I'll put this on the list to be done in the month.
Well, this part was doable. She thought I was crazy. I was like, do that. And she's like, no, you can't do that in time. I'm like, no, I can get rolls in the system. I know how to do that. I can see it in my head. I can see the code. And also, it helped that I had Secret's gardening code because Secret built this beautiful API layer. And I was like, oh, let me just steal that and move it over here for activities. And now I can beautifully bring things in because it's already got all my security and my checking that I need. And beautiful. And because of doing gardening, actually, that's where I got what I needed to send the information correctly from the activity roller. So gardening inadvertently put the code for activity on-site trackers in my head while I was working on it.
Kismet.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so this is more thinking out loud than a question, but
Yeah.
will doing away with the dangerous hunting label affect limits on the site, or will there even be limits on the site? I assume for submissions, daily submissions. If we were doing those on the site, they'd be their own independent queues, probably.
They'd be their own independent queues, yeah.
Which probably wouldn't matter on the label.
Probably still wouldn't matter on the label. I hear you. I'll deal with it when I get there is kind of where I'm at. Because the only thing that makes something dangerous game is the prey you are hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if all we need to do is change the output verbiage for it to pick up that this is a dangerous hunting roll, we can do that. Probably?
I'd need to hard code it into the activity roller.
Hmm.
Or no, not necessarily even hard code it. I would need to add a new field to the activity roller and account for it in the back end. And you have seen that. That is like 7,000 lines of dynamic chaos.
It's delightful.
I don't touch that thing if I don't have to. Military logic. Ain't broke, don't fix.
Not a question, but a thing in chatter that came through is maybe increase pagination as an Aurora perk.
Oh, I suppose I could do that. That's a harmless Aurora perk.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See. Nothing. Oh, God. You have rolls, mini rolls. Please click through 53 pop ups.
Just... Okay. But all right, everybody, hear me out right now. Hear me out on my logic, because everyone's like, we have to click into everything. When you are building a bank form currently, what do you have to do? Open all 5 roles, copy the link in, copy the details in, make decisions. Even if all the other information persists from role to role to role, the reality is you're still only ever dealing with 5 at a time. And in this system, you won't even have to do things like add your totems or your effects. They would just be there because I already know them because I know what Toko rolled this roll. I don't need you to tell me. So that being said, why do you need 50 on a page at a time? You're only ever going to be dealing with 5 in a row. And the logical thing in this situation, because you're dealing with them per Toko, you're looking at Toko's tracker, not a global tracker, you're only going to deal with like 1 at a time. Right? And when I do the global tracker, it's not going to really change much because I already know who the Toko is. I don't need you to give me any of that info. I just need to tell me what to do with the items. Right?
Pat, pat.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I think I'm following like real player logic here, so I don't understand the need. But that being said, if somebody drops down a legit comment that convinces me, I'll be convinced and I'll go and I'll do it.
Yeah. Ready for your next question?
Yep.
Will those who are on the tracker beta continue helping figure out these bugs, or will there be new groups of beta testers with each phase? Or we just bring more on as we need?
Yeah, I'm just going to expand the group. I think I'll just expand the group as we go.
We won't send you back to DA.
No.
Unless, like, something has gone horrifically wrong and we all must use DA for a month.
Exactly. But no, I'll just probably just expand it by like 5 people every time and pull more and more in. Why would I want to lose all the people who've gained knowledge and then we'll train other players how to use it?
All right. Curious how exactly daily limits work. Is it based on who submits or based on the Tokota involved and tied to them? How much Toko Center involvement is there? Or is this a bigger question will be answered kind of later post-beta test?
On-site trackers are just for the roles. It's not changing how Toko Center works at this point in time.
For now. We'll be free of them one day.
Maybe.
We have to be free of them. They've limited how many people we can have moving things between folders.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it slowly. But daily limits, it's every person can submit 2 of each activity a day. I think there's some global limit in the folders.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be user tied.
Yeah.
I think.
It's going to be user tied. And the way that it currently works is I can submit 2 activities of each type in if I did the art or if my Toko is in it, receiving a role. And that's just the truth of it. I don't see why that would really change.
Because we can verify who's uploaded the art to DA versus the link being put in.
Yeah.
Because we have both your usernames that it could be under.
Mm-hmm. You have both your usernames that it could be under, and we get the user from DA when we do the O embed. And that's how we show you, like, on the one you're looking at right now, I think below the image it says, like, by skits. Yeah, that DA told me that. That's how I know it's by skits.
Yeah.
I've also cracked how to know if something's a story versus a image, so I no longer need you to tell me if something is lit. I can just do it myself and display it. I've also fixed the problem where they don't have... I don't know why they did this. This is so confusing to me. The O embed requires you to have a title on something. So it requires you to have a name up front. They never contemplated the situation where you wouldn't give them the name dash the ID, the thing they're actually using to do this work. So if you don't put a title in front of the numbers in the URL, it breaks the O embed. And then they updated DA so that when you submit something, the first URL you get doesn't have the title in it. It's just the numbers. And I'm terrified to actually go and ask them about this because every time I ask them something, they're like, oh, let me just remove that from the system. Because they're mad at ARPGs. I don't know why. I didn't do anything to them. I asked a couple logical questions and didn't yell at them. I understand their job. I have a similar one. But, so we've found workarounds around all of that. Now, I don't think it's working in HU because I haven't touched HU, but for taming and for trackers, We just need the link, and it doesn't matter which link you give it to us. We'll figure it out and account for all those situations. Because it's easier on everybody if we do it.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Nope, think we're good.
Okay.
Should I close that raffle?
Yes, I was about to say, go ahead and close the raffle.
Should I close the raffle in 2 minutes when they catch up to me closing the raffle?
I mean, is anyone typing in raffle right now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. This is your 2-minute warning for you all. When you hear this, it will be closing. But technically, it is a 2-minute warning because I know you're running behind me. Okay, let me see. Let me pop my main screen back up. Let me close that out. I do love this background. We just got this background. Did we release this background?
Yeah, this background's out.
Oh, this is the one we just bought from Athalia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Athalia and I have like 2 conversations a year where she submits something with some beautiful custom background in it. And I go, hey, can I buy that? And then 6 months later, she comes back around and goes, oh, yeah, price. And I'm like, okay, here you go. She drops me it. And then 6 months later, or 3 months later, I'll be like, hey, can I buy that? And 6 months later, she'll get back to me. And I'm just like, yeah, it's great. She always sizes them because she knows I'm going to come and ask her if I can just buy it off of her. Because it's zero work on our part, new background, and her price is very reasonable. So yeah, we have a lot of Athalia backgrounds for that reason.
Oh, you remember when we said this was going to be a short podcast?
We're almost done.
Okay.
I'm fully aware.
Okay. Has it been 2 minutes?
It's been like a minute.
I'll wait till it rolls over. Okay, it's rolled over.
Okay, close up. Woo!
All right, I'm going to go count.
All right, Dun's going to go count, and then I will figure out what I am talking about for the next minute as I do. Oh, right. Cool. I have this. What does this thing do again? It's there now. You have to tell them.
I was counting.
I know, but remind me what it does, and then I'll vamp while you count.
It's like iguana and flying fox. I can't tell you the families off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure flowers is one of them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Yep. So as Dun works on the raffle, I will work on a fun little spoiler that I bring to you, which is our porcupine, which works like flying fox and iguana, meaning it brings you back produce boxes. Flowers is definitely one of them. I'm trying to remember what the other one is, but it's escaping me, and I'm not really going to go dig into the channels and find it right now. But basically, we are bringing out more and more of those. These are your only way of getting gardening items in activities, and we're probably not going to add any more than just these companions to that because gardening is finally live, and within 6 months there will be an economy around gardening and people can just do it normally. We don't have to make lots of extra stuff. That being said, does that mean we're going to remove the daily produce boxes? Maybe, maybe not. We might still leave them. If you're willing to pay for them every day in TT, then that's okay with me. You can go and garden, or you can buy the produce boxes when they're done. That's how it works.
Hot take.
Yeah.
We remove produce boxes from us and make produce boxes that players sell each other.
Get out of my head. I was sitting there, and in my head, I'm like, I wonder if we could do a way of like building produce boxes that people put stuff into, and then you purchase the whole box of produce off of them. But I'm like, well, it's really just like the items marketplace.
Which you've been meaning to get back to for like 2 years now.
For 2 years. Well, I don't think it's like, I think it's like super important because transfers handle some of it, and
yeah, but being able to walk into a shop and just spend flat number of TT to buy an item off somebody is pretty nice.
I mean, I suppose that's true. Maybe I can put it after Ari's on my to-do list, my never-ending to-do list.
I think your to-do list is never ending.
My to-do list is never ending because I have the own shit that I'm creating, and then I have also what you say, and then I have what other random players / admins make a comment about, and then there's something new on my list. Okay? And you never know what's going to set off my brain to go, oh, but what about? I could do that. Or I could do this, and this would be better, and everyone would love this, and then there's an Aurora perk.
Oh, could you do my Totem Paints apology / PSA?
Okay, I will do it. So remember when I said there was that thing that me and Dun kind of fought about over open? It was Totem Paints. So I'll admit to being the Grinch on this one. When she said, let's do these Totem Paints, I went, no. She's like, no, it'll be beautiful. It'll be wonderful. And I said, no. She's like, no, it'll be great. I'll keep up on it. And I was like, you're going to hate this every time we release a new totem, and you have to handle the totem paints for it. She's like, no. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Well, here we are at Open, and there's 3. Axolotl needs them. Eel and Gecko need them. Granted, Tina and Kep broke those layers out in preparation for totem paints for us, which was wonderful and beautiful. Axolotl.
Very quick. I have to.
Yes. Axolotl was older before we knew we needed that. So Dunn needed to find time to do totem paints and had not necessarily written things down. So I kept trying to tell her to give it to somebody else. I was like, take it back to take Axolotl to the Combo Totems channel and ask Tina and kept to. I don't have time to explain to them. I'm like, I'm not asking you to explain it to them. I'm telling you to give them the totem, tell them what you need done, and let the artists art. And we'll pay them for their time.
How many rolls am I rolling? You have 54 entries.
Given that it's a Geno, I really do think it should only be like 2.
All right, so 2D.
Yep, 2.
2D, 54.
Yep.
Off I go.
So we had that, and then another admin showed up to be like, I'll do it. And Den's like, I don't have time to teach them how to do it. I'm like, then don't teach them. Just tell them what they need to do and let them figure it out on their own. They're an artist. And so we had this huge fight where she stormed off. It's fair.
I went to bed. I felt better in the morning.
I know. So for some reason, we also didn't write down, I'm going to say we, but she knows I mean her. We didn't write down what we did to create the gold color. So that mystery is gone to the ages and will need to be recreated.
I just have to go open old files and look at what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just HSV layers.
I hear you. I do. But that means that we don't have the totem paints for those ones done just yet. And they weren't getting done for Open, and I wasn't holding Open over them anymore when someone else could have solved the problem. So totem paints will be coming in the next absolute worst case scenario. If they don't drop this weekend, expect a whole week before you see them.
Wow.
Or by Sunday, I'm going to be done with this BS, and I'm going to go and get an artist to just art and figure it out for me.
I've got it. I can do it.
I know you
I
can,
have your things.
but I can make an artist do that while you do something else. And let's say they don't figure it out. By the time you're ready to do it, nothing has been lost. Okay, who are my winners? You can see, like, this is a real heated thing between us.
It really is.
Friendship problems. Totem paints. Okay. So, congratulations to Chisaguro and Altaika. I can never say your name right. I'm sorry. You have won a Sly Sibling Geno. They should be appearing on your Tokotane soonish.
Sly siblings will slink into your...
Yes. Your Geno storage shortly. Okay. Before we go, any other questions? Anything else about the podcast today? And I'll do my sign off as soon as we check and see that. I know I have to like vamp for a moment because the delay.
Cap just said a thing that's making my brain go, oh my god.
Of course she did. Okay. What did she say? Tell me.
SVG overlays. Because then I can just fucking control the things independently. I can make totem paints that match the site themes.
No.
But
all the totems are really different.
we could do this. Probably.
Yeah. Okay. It is your project. Enjoy. You know enough code to pull that off. She does. I've trained her with enough code to pull that off. She makes minor code updates these days.